What's up, Fanatics?
Welcome to Fanatic Now. My name's Josh.
And I'm Brighton.
Today we want to talk about some leaks and new releases. The most important, obviously, we need to start with Spider-Man No Way Home's new poster.
Now, if you don't know, Spider-Man No Way Home just dropped a new poster for your viewing pleasure. But there's a lot of little points in it that you can kind of pick up on what possibly could be in the movie. So first and foremost, very obvious things would be...
There's a lot of obvious things.
But like the most obvious thing, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. The tentacles are front and center right there in your face. So we already kind of knew Molina was going to be in this movie. We already knew Doc Ock was going to be in the movie based on the trailer. But even before then...
He said it.
Oh yeah, Molina did his own little leak.
I bet old Kevo didn't like that.
No, probably
Kevin Feige
not.
does not like leaks. And Molina was like, yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Takes place right after the bridge fall, yeah.
Yeah, so in the far right-hand corner, there is a little green monster there.
Little goblin?
Little goblin.
Little glider action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to see a little bit of green goblin there in the corner, Willem Dafoe.
And one thing that I was shocked by, when you zoom in on it and you adjust the lighting and all that, he looks pretty much identical to the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the Raimi-verse. You can't make out all the details, so there could be differences. Mm-hmm. But, there were leaks saying that Willem Dafoe is going to be Green Goblin, but that he wasn't going to have the helmet. He had a different outfit, so I don't know.
It's a little, at this point, it's a little bit more on the nose of what we're actually going to be getting, because it's very clear to be his costume. And now, granted, it is a graphic image, like it could easily...
It could be a lie.
It could be a lie.
Yeah.
It's not the first time that Marvel had lied to us. Sony's not normally good at that stuff, but if Marvel has its hands in it, it's probably going to be a little bit better off.
And we know they have teamed up with MCU as far as dealing with these releases, because the inside information, the little scoop on it, is that Sony has already wanted to release another trailer showing all three Spider-Men in the movie, and MCU was adamant, do not release that trailer.
Yeah.
And it hasn't released yet, so I don't know if MCU's winning that battle or not, but... So what else did you see in the poster?
And then you've also got a very obvious thing with electricity. Very, very obvious electricity.
And the lightning was yellow,
exactly,
not blue.
Which means that we'll be getting Electro, but most likely in a different format, more of the comic original, that yellow color. And yet again, another actor who leaked that they were in this movie.
Very prematurely, and then deleted his tweet.
Yeah, but the way the internet works, everything...
Jamie Foxx, by the way. Yeah.
As soon as something goes up, everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's definitely exciting. We already kind of figured Electro was in it. There's a scene in the trailer where lightning strikes Peter Parker, or almost strikes Peter Parker, which was like kind of a big drop there.
Yeah, and see, with something else that we've talked about this a little bit, but in the first teaser that we saw, it almost looks like the yellow lightning is being blocked.
Yep.
By a big mound of sand in the air. And now in this poster, you do see sand swirling around, but it's not 100% identifiable as sand. I see it as sand, but it could be something else.
It does also kind of appear like smoke, mainly I guess because we can't zoom in really close into the particles and see what it is. So from a distance, it kind of does look like smoke. It's a little too concentric to be smoke. So... it probably, if it was smoke, it'd be coming out of a glider or maybe a set of wings. So could be a little hint teaser to Vulture, but...
We know Michael Keaton's still around in the MCU, but we haven't had any direct hint that he's in this movie.
So it's more of that one's more of a far guess out, because if you zoom in at like the base of the original smoke trail, you can see particles there that kind of look like maybe sand starting to pull up and form into something.
I'm convinced it's sand, because not only did we see it very obviously look like sand in the first trailer, but with the October's Empire magazine release, they released different covers, and obviously they were given some inside information. So I'm actually surprised they were allowed to put some of the artwork they did on the magazine cover. Obviously, it doesn't prove anything, but according to the artist that made the magazine cover, Sandman is clearly shown in that artwork.
Yeah. Definitely that little fist coming out.
Yep.
Out of the.
It's like a green and black swirl, and you can see the
sand
sand fist
fist
forming out. So I'm hoping that Thomas Hayden Church is reprising the role. I feel like he is. We've had nothing concrete say that he is, but in my mind, Thomas Hayden Church is in this movie because he was beloved in Spider-Man 3, even though it was a very not
poorly
beloved
executed film.
Yeah, but everybody loved his role, his portrayal of Sandman. So I'm convinced.
Wait, you're not all for the dancing Peter Parker?
Venom was horrible in that movie. Tobey Maguire was horrible in that movie. And I like Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Verse in the first two movies. I think the second movie is, for me personally, the best movie. Yeah. That was the best movie of anything pre-MCU crossover. Anything before Tom Holland, the best Spider-Man portrayal I've ever seen is Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2.
The second one's always seemed it, because X-Men 2 as well was the best. But
back then, they weren't quite as good at the origin story, but then once they got the flow and they found out what was working for them, they really nailed it on the second go. Can't always say that. Amazing Spider-Man 2. It wasn't horrible, and I liked Andrew Garfield in it. And Jamie Foxx is a fantastic actor, but
it really did have such a big fall in it.
It was not great. Had a real big fall in it.
But you can't catch them all. You can. I personally am 100% on the Sandman train. I'm just saying, if you look at it, since you can't really see too much of it, it could easily be smoke. They are showing a battleground, so it seems a little too on the nose for me about it being sand. But talking about people that may or may not be in it, there's a few more people that, at least one really big scaly person that wasn't in this poster that we've already kind of know is in it.
Lizard. We see him in the teaser, right? I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah.
That's another really dark scene, but when you lighten it up, a lot of people wanted to say that it was Venom. Mm-hmm. That's not Venom.
You could clearly see a tail.
Yep,
you could see that like weird head shape.
Yeah.
And very much of like Lizard in prison, which who knows why could be a lot of theories. Some people have theorized that Doctor Strange is creating a prison for these.
And we do see that Doctor Strange is it appears as if Doctor Strange is trying to get that box back, and Peter's on the run with it, which is why they're fighting. I don't think they're like fighting to try to harm each other. I think Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is running away with that box. Maybe that box is some type of portal prison or something. So,
but a little disappointed. Zoomed in everywhere looking for Lizard there and didn't see any hints. But I mean, I could have missed something.
Yeah.
But so if anybody, definitely hit up the comments if you might have found something about Lizard that I didn't see.
Another villain that would make sense is Mysterio, but I have yet to see a single thing that hints towards Mysterio.
Like nothing, because you'd imagine it would have that classic like that green smoke trail that comes from Mysterio. And we didn't get anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Mysterio just died. But did he? Because he was full of illusions. And even if he did, so did Green Goblin. So did Doc Ock. So
I think that might be everything for the poster.
Yeah, I think so. Except, wait. What the hell is in the bottom left corner? Can you zoom in on that? It's Mephisto. It's Mephisto. It's Mephisto right there. No, it's not, but I really want it to be. And you can see what appears to be a hint at a face, but
it's very face-esque,
It's one of those illusions, like you can see a face on Mars, and you can see a face in the moon, and those types of things. You can find things you're looking for, and I'm looking everywhere for Mephisto.
Just wait.
Where are you, Mephisto? Where are you?
I feel like we're all joking about this now, and eventually,
happening.
Mephisto. I feel like it's gonna be like 6 years from now, and Mephisto's gonna be like randomly like thrown in a movie that you'd be like, there was no hints, there was no nothing, and he's just there, and he pops in, he's like, sup, and then he leaves.
We're gonna be chilling in a theater one day, and we're like, Mephisto! It's Mephisto! Oh my god, it's Mephisto!
I've waited so long.
It's been 7 years!
And on the topic of Spider-Man, we just got a few leaked photos.
Yes, we gotten 2. One yesterday and one this morning. So the first one that came out shows Tom Holland sitting at like a little brunch table, little dining table, and he's
clearly in Aunt May's house as well, I believe. Yeah.
You got Happy Hogan, you got Aunt May. I assume it's Aunt May. You can only see the back of her head, but it seems to be obviously Aunt May and Happy Hogan. But across from Aunt May is Charlie Cox, appearing as
reprising his role.
Yeah, not in the outfit of Daredevil, but obviously Daredevil because he's wearing the glasses, all of that. So he's obviously the lawyer mode of Daredevil.
Which brings up some interesting questions about him being in the film. Is this the very beginning of the film, and he comes in as Peter's lawyer? Is it the very end of the film after everything has occurred?
Yeah,
because this seems like it'd be opening gateways to the multiverse. Charlie Cox plays Daredevil in the Netflix run of Daredevil, the Defenders, different stuff like that, as far as like the Netflix Marvel universe. So it seems odd that he would be here. I mean, you can obviously, it's not the first time. You can easily reprise your role from a different, but it kind of seems like the way with the film is going, where the only way to reprise your role as a character has been through this multiversal changes. Possibly it could be Charlie Cox at the very end of the film.
Yeah.
Talking now that Peter has fixed everything back to the way it was before he started getting involved with Doctor Strange, he reaches out to to Daredevil and says, "Hey, I really need your help. I probably should have done this the first time not."
Right. I would think that since we know that the last Spider-Man movie, Far From Home, ended with Peter in trouble with the law, I would think that a court scene with a lawyer and all that would be pretty early in the movie to get that part of the story rolling, and then it be interrupted by all of these new things that he has to handle as Spider-Man. So I'm gonna guess that we're gonna get Charlie Cox near the beginning of the movie as the lawyer. But you are correct. He could be revisited there at the end with some type of message that we don't know about, or maybe Peter had a really bad lawyer, and all of this other stuff happens, and Charlie Cox's Daredevil comes in. Matt Murdock shows up to be his lawyer at the end, saying, "You need somebody that understands what you're actually going through." So it could be either way.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the beginning or the end, I think.
Yeah.
This isn't like a
No. This is nowhere near just chilling in the
right.
In the middle. It's like let's take a lovely break in the middle of all this craziness to have Peter sit down with.
Right.
And this is supposed to be a long film too, 2 hours and 43 minutes. So a lot's gonna happen. And I am interested to see where Matt Murdock's going to end up, but I agree with you. It's going to be first or end. I personally kind of think it's the end, because I think this is going to be Marvel's way of finally being like, here's how we get anybody and everybody we want into our universe.
And I think it's going to be the beginning. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only picture. Overnight, we also had another leaked image. Now, again, I just want to say these are leaked images not from Marvel, not from Sony, that we can prove. So these could be fake. But if you look at them, they don't appear to be fake, which is the only reason we're giving it any credence to talk about. They appear to be real. And in this picture, as you'll notice, you see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire up front with Tom Holland behind them. They're all three in their spider suit, but they're not wearing their masks. So if this is real, you can clearly make everything out. I mean, it looks real to me. I'm gonna go with the thought that it's real, but we just have to remember that these aren't proven yet. So you tell us in the comments what you think. Do you think the photos are real? What do you think it means for Spider-Man No Way Home? Give me your predictions. We love to talk about predictions. So we like educated guesses on this stuff. We love to just think about what could be because of the facts that we do know. So tell us what you think. Let us know
down in the comments.
So
I guess the last thing kind of on our docket to talk about today is the other released photo, not really leaked.
Yeah, it wasn't leaked.
It was just straight up released by James Gunn on the first day of production for Guardians Volume 3. So, in that photo, you've got the main cast that we're all familiar with. And you also have Will Poulter off to the left by the actress that plays Mantis, who will be playing the role as Adam Warlock.
Now, for you non-comic readers, Adam Warlock, originally known as him, and then Adam, eventually Adam Warlock. The character's earliest appearances were in Fantastic Four 66 and 67, and then right after in Thor 163 through 166 is one of his main storylines. He's a very powerful cosmic being created to be the perfect human. Adam was the keeper of the Soul Stone until Thanos took it and trapped Adam inside of the Soul World. Once Spider-Man broke him out, Adam actually kills Thanos by turning him into stone, or at least killed him for the time being.
In the MCU, however, he's first hinted at in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in one of the post-credit scenes. You see Aisha, the Golden High Priestess of the Sovereign, reveal that she's created this new powerful being who she plans to be the next step in their evolutionary track, because all of the Sovereign race kind of create their own offspring. They don't, not like we do. And then also she plans to use him to destroy the Guardians, so we could see him as more of a villain. And she, in the video, makes a point of calling him Adam, so we know that it's Adam Warlock.
Yeah, we didn't have to wonder about that one. Everybody knew, if you read the comics, you knew that even though they're going a different track in the movies, once you referred to it as Adam, especially with all the gold and all that, because he was so golden in the original comics and stuff, so we know that's Adam Warlock. Then we found out a few weeks back that Will Poulter was playing Adam Warlock, and now we get the photo to prove it.
And it's exciting to have him in, because a lot of theories was that he would end up have been in Infinity War or Endgame a few years ago.
He played a huge part in the comics, but...
Yeah, so it would have been nice to have been able to see him, but I'm very excited to have him in the film now. And it's interesting to say that we're seeing him on day one, which means that he may end up playing a much bigger part in the movie than probably previously thought. Because if you're there day one, it seems like you'd...
Yeah, I mean, and films are filmed out of order, so you never know, but it does give a hint that he's going to play a big role. And like I say, we knew he was going to be in the movie, but we didn't know whether it was going to be a small part or a large part, so this at least gives hope and credence to the fact that hopefully he's in a lot, because I know a lot of people weren't happy with Will Poulter being cast. I think he's fantastic. He's getting in great shape. He's got the voice. His face doesn't look like what it did when he was doing comedies, a decade ago. Like, he's manned up.
Yeah.
He's manned up. Got that chiseled chin.
He still kind of has that, like, golden boy look to him, which
you're supposed to,
is what Adam Warlock was. Like, this, like, the golden boy, the great child, like, different stuff like that.
He's like 6'4", I think. He's a tall dude. He's got, like I say, he's broadened up a lot. We had some reporters actually question him about him fitting in, almost in a rude way, but he played it off great. He's like, no, I'm working really hard to get in shape. I'm taking the role really seriously, and I think he's got what it takes to be a great Adam Warlock, so I'm hoping that we're right, that this photo has given us some hope that he's going to be a large role. And I would expect that he's going to be a villain at first, because he's going to be sent to destroy him. But I could see, even in this movie, and if not in the follow-up, that he'll join the good side. But I would expect that he is the villain coming off right at the beginning.
And another thing I kind of wanted to point out was the lack of Thor in the photo.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth isn't anywhere in that photo, which isn't crazy. He could just have been at the very like, he could be in a short scene in the beginning and that's all he's used for. But we do know at the end of Endgame, Thor's off-world with the Guardians. Now, he could have easily quickly left after the fact, but...
We know with Love and Thunder coming out that he's going to have a separate mission he's got to go on. So my guess is that he's going to play a large role in a small chunk of this movie and have to leave during this movie. And maybe the film, the scenes that they're starting off with filming just didn't need him. Because, he was hinted that he was going to be a big part of the Guardians going forward, but we don't know that that's going to, how long that was going to last.
And as we were talking about with schedules don't always line up, and Chris Hemsworth is very busy right now, if I'm not mistaken. So it could make sense why, but that was just something I wanted to point out.
Now, Chukwudi Iwuji can also be seen in this photo. James Gunn, when talking about the Nigerian actor, said he, quote, has indeed joined the cast, and goes on to say that working with him on Peacemaker, I wasn't about to let go of one of the best actors I've ever worked with, so I gave him the role most every big name actor in Hollywood wanted. What could that mean?
My guess would probably be Silver Surfer. If I could think of a part that would work with Guardians, that would be something that majority of actors would want. Mm-hmm. Silver Surfer kind of fits that role. I mean, Galactus would be the biggest role you could give somebody in stature, but I don't feel like we're in the point of having a Galactus.
It seems early for Galactus. But Silver Surfer could come earlier than Galactus, so...
We can have a Silver Surfer without Galactus, like, not realistically, because Galactus creates Silver Surfer, but Silver Surfer isn't always with Galactus. We can see him plenty of without, and it would kind of make sense if he was going to give him a role that he felt everybody would want, and that he would do extremely well. Silver Surfer just fits all those little points, because he wouldn't give him I don't feel like he'd give him a smaller role that would only last the movie. I feel like it would have to be something that could end up being outside of just Guardians of the Galaxy. And we already know we're getting a Fantastic Four coming up, so I don't think it's such an insane thought to think that Silver Surfer could be the character he plays.
Okay, so based on what James Gunn said, I like your theory. But I don't know that I'm gonna believe everything James Gunn says. He has
been known to make a few jokes here and there, so he could be joking about it.
But I agree with you. If it's a role that any big name Hollywood actor would want, Silver Surfer. I have a different theory though. So as you know, I collect Marvel Legends, and a character that never gets any play in toy releases and stuff like that. But Marvel Legends just released a High Evolutionary action figure. Now, he was released in a line with the Fantastic Four because he is mainly dealing with the Fantastic Four in a lot of the storylines. That's his primary storyline. But, I think we're getting towards the point of learning about Fantastic Four pretty soon.
Yeah.
But separately from that, the principal thing behind Adam Warlock is that he's the perfect created human.
Yeah.
And the High Evolutionary was basically a mad scientist who was obsessed with creating things like this. He was almost like the cosmic version of a Mr. Sinister to the X-Men. He was convinced that he could create this perfect type of creature. So, we know that MCU likes to blend what actually happens in the comics and kind of put their own twist to it. So, I feel like we could be getting the High Evolutionary. Now, it goes against what you're saying about him having a big role that could go on and on and on, but we don't know that. I mean, the High Evolutionary could end up being a main player. We can never count out C characters in the MCU because they turn them into A characters. So, I think Silver Surfer and High Evolutionary are good guesses. I feel like High Evolutionary would fit into this movie better, and I feel like Silver Surfer fits what James Gunn said better. So,
and like you said, it wouldn't be crazy to make the High Evolutionary a more prominent character in the MCU because he is a really good character to begin with. So why not have somebody creating these crazy mad scientist projects in space constantly? Like he would make a really good long running villain or eventually anti-hero if they want to go in that kind of direction.
He's usually an antagonist, but they could go either direction with him. Especially if you've watched Eternals already, you know MCU has went very cosmic.
Yeah.
And Silver Surfer or High Evolutionary fits the cosmic deal. But I feel like High Evolutionary is going to be my guess here. But we'll probably get more information a lot sooner, so we'll stay updated. But in the comments, let us know who you think that Chukwudi Iwuji would be playing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
And go check out, if you haven't seen the photo yet, it'll probably be in the video, but if you want to look at it a little bit better, you can head over to our Instagram page, Fanatic Now, or our Facebook page, Fanatic Now, and check those out there. We'll also be probably posting the poster as well as the different photos from the Empire cover and the leaked photos. So definitely go check those out if you want to get a better look at those, so you can kind of formulate your own theories a little bit better.
Yeah, we just launched those pages, but going forward, you're going to see a lot of breaking news type of stuff posted there. We're also going to throw in just some fun memes whenever the news is slow. So if you like good memes and you want to stay up to date on Marvel, definitely follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
But other than that, I think
we're good.
I think we're good. I don't think we have anything else to cover. So
we covered a lot.
Yeah. So definitely hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, click a little like right there. Maybe leave some comments, share it with your friends, family, whoever. Bother the shit out of people. Prove your theories are right by sending our videos to other people.
Prove you are a fanatic.
But other than that, I think we're good.
Yeah. Later, guys.
Later.